And here we are. Everything is working so far, so good, huh? Ahoy, welcome. My name is Ike. This is Switzerland Playit. It's Wednesday, hump day, how many people call it. You managed to do almost half of the week. Who can't wait for the weekend, huh? On this show at 10 a.m. every day Eastern, US Eastern, not Australia Eden Eastern time. I'm doing this newscasting or podcast with news, or however you want to call it, but I'm just covering some news in the gaming world. And with me is absolutely nobody here, but you are in the chat, and use the chat to your full extent. Use the emotes, talk to me. I'm going to read some articles, not every article I picked, but some I'm going to read, and some just partially and all that stuff. Every reference, every source is linked down below. So if you want to go read yourself, there it is. And I hope you enjoy the stay with me. Shall we start? Nobody here. Ahoy, John. Ahoy, Haste. Ahoy, Eden. No people are around. I'm seeing you in the chat. I can't answer you in the chat via text on YouTube. I could, but too much work. I'm going to reply to chat sometimes between the articles. John Thunder actually watched the video yesterday. As far as I know, I had no interest, and I still have no interest, but I want just to point out, yesterday, The Witcher 4 was depicted, was shown in a tech demo on PS5. It runs smoothly and all that stuff with Unreal Engine 5 what was it? It doesn't matter, 5 point something. And they make it sound like it's absolutely amazing. It's the best shit ever, which is not. I mean, it looks fine for what I see on those pictures, but on every picture you see down here, I can zoom in if you want. Maybe not. Maybe I need to open it in a new tab and then scroll down and scroll to this side and technical presentation, not actual gameplay. It's just to save their own butts, which is fine. Many companies did that forever now. Doesn't matter. But it shows you like they are not taking you too serious, but they want to depict like what the engine is capable and all that stuff, right? And all those pictures look fine. But for me, the most interesting part was that they changed Siri. And not only I saw that immediately because I remember the original like announcement trailer, and we have here like a comparison. Let me put that on bigger screen here. Maybe tune down a little bit here the audio. Nobody needs to hear that really that loud. Oh, it's salty. So this is the original CGI version of the announcement trailer. It's not that she looks bad and super ugly, but comparing to the original in the sense of Witcher 3 series, this one is a downgrade. She was uglified, and many people didn't like it. I didn't like it, and especially because Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games ever, still. And they uglified her. Not a lot, but they uglified her. For what fucking reason? Many told me like, yeah, it's like for because she aged and you change with age, which is of course true, but I don't care if you uglify my Siri. So they changed it, and I think they made her more appealing. She looks older still, right? She looks older, but the same. Why not from the very beginning like that? But we might see that she will be reverted back to this one. That might be because of CGI. All the pre-rendered stuff might be this series. We don't know yet. It was just interesting. And speaking of CD Projekt Red and their GOG platform, which they sell like the DRM-free games, yeah, there you go. For them, it's faggot month, like for many more out there, but not in gaming, and interestingly enough. I checked on EA, on their store. I checked on Steam. I checked on Epic Store. I checked on the Uplay. I checked even on Microsoft. And I didn't found any Pride Month like big buttons and anything like that. I would need to go deeper to find it. Probably there is it, but I didn't find anything. But GOG, those assholes, go with the Pride Month. It seems like they want to push me to make me an ex-customer. They did that last year too. Last year was the same issue pretty much already. All other bigger stores, all other bigger publisher with their own store, had this thing not going. Maybe for one day, but GOG for some ominous reason, to me at least, go with that. Good morning, says Salty. They may appear more feminine, yes. What we will see about the CD Projekt Red will do, yeah. We have to wait. I'm not interested a lot in Witcher 4 anyway. I just find it interesting. What I saw in this tech demo, that they praised it so much, I found it a little bit silly. Let me say it with this simple word, silly, that they pretend that it's something amazing, that Siri walks into somebody with apples and that NPC with the apples drops the apples. Some dynamic interactivity with the NPCs. Like there was never a game out there with such a dynamic behavior of NPCs. I think that's not what for me games really are about. That's nice if something like that is in the game. This dynamic world, this dynamic feeling world. But if the story is crap, if your ideology, like we see right now with the GOG store, is crap, I'm not interested in your games. Just telling you right away. But that's only me. What do you think about Pride Month by GOG? And there might be nice games here, but I don't know why they picked all those romantic games and all male romantic. Oh, okay, gay, or just plain and simple gay games. Fine. I mean, go for it. If you are gay and you like that shit, fine. I don't care. So we have the Switch release coming upon us tomorrow. I said yesterday it will come today, but of course I was wrong and nobody corrected me. That tells me many people not really caring about Switch and just hoping they get maybe one. I don't know. But yes, that's what it is. So we have a lot of Switch news today. Nintendo releases more Switch 1 game updates to improve Switch 2 compatibility. Which is odd because nobody has access to it anyway. And that's why I titled this -1 day patch, which they did. We will come to that article a little bit later. Good thing in this relation is that they release patches for games you already own on your Switch 1 in your account and all that. You can download them. Mainly, of course, first party games like Mario games and all that. Nintendo, of course, patches them first by themselves, which is still cool. You know, I like that that idea. You being able to backwards compatibility play your older games, and not only like those Switch games, even Super Mario 64 gets an update to be able to play on Switch too. And in this article, you just can see what other games are being patched and being able to be played on the Switch too. So go check it out. More relevant news for somebody who was here a minute ago and she just posts all the time. Pickles or aubergines, eggplants, how it's called in English. I like aubergine. I like actually the name. It's French, aubergine. Oui, oui. But yeah. Phasmophobia movie coming from Bloomhouse to haunt theaters. And Phasmophobia, the popular ghost hunting sim from Kinetic Games, is being turned into a horror movie. The film is coming from Bloomhouse, a production company that has made a great number of horror movies in recent years, including Five Nights at Freddy's, Paranormal Activity, The Purge, Insidious, among many more. James Wan's company, Atomic Monster, is also attached to the project. I don't know about this company, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, Bloomhouse has become this name in horror movies, actually, which is fine. Um, Five Nights at Freddy's, actually not a bad movie. Um, Paranormal Activity, I think I've seen it way back in the days, but don't remember shit from it. The Purge, which is more or less actually a series already of movies. And there's also a show. All movies I've seen from The Purge are actually good, but they mean probably the original The Purge. The first one was only by Blumhouse. I don't remember every production company in every movie involved. But yes, they're doing this movie for this game. And I found it interesting because I didn't know about the numbers. So in this article, they tell me about the numbers. Phasmophobia launched as a Steam early access game in 2022 and quickly became a hit for friend groups looking for a fun and terrifying co-op game during the pandemic. It's gone on to sell more than 22 million copies and last year debuted on the Xbox and PlayStation. 22 million copies for such a game, which is, I mean, visually it looks very outdated, right? Even for 2020, it was very outdated looks on it, but that's a big success, right? It doesn't cost you a full price 60, 70, soon enough, $80. 22 million copies. Good for them. It's a good party game. It's a good fucking fun co-op game for sure. Ahoy, ouch my junk, I sin no. How are you guys doing? How is everybody doing? I have to check for John. He's like separated in one chat, but mixed with the rest of the chat. The bait and switch from Nintendo. Yeah, pretty much. I love backwards compatibility. I have 500 games on my Xbox spanning 4 consoles generation. Yeah, Microsoft actually started with that, patching older games for your newer consoles with the 360 already back in the days, if everybody remembers that, which is cool. And it's a good fucking customer service in the end, right? You don't want to lose the customer. You want to give them new games with new graphics, new abilities, new possibilities with the new controllers and more performance and all that, right? So it's not a bad idea to patch all the games, invest a little bit time and money to keep them buying your new console. So not a bad idea. And Nintendo is doing that actually also since the Wii. You know, remember the Wii could backwards compatibility GameCube games playing. Yeah, why not, huh? So I'm not looking super forward to Phasmophobia the movie, but I might check it out when it comes out, at least on web streaming. Who knows? Five Nights at Freddy's. I liked actually. It's not a bad movie. And horror movies are usually way cheaper to produce than those big triple A super Hollywood superhero movies and all that crap, right? Fairly cheap to produce and usually make always the money back multiple times. But already we have Ghostbusters. Which what? That's a movie. Oh, you mean like in general? Yeah, I mean the article also talks about the show Ghost Hunters, which the game is pretty much Ghost Hunters. The game, the game, right? Phasmophobia is Ghost Hunters, the TV show, the game. It's just a fun party game. I'm not sure how you can translate that in a real movie. I mean, it's gonna be just maybe a horror splatter movie because Blumhouse is this horror splatter production company in the end. Other movies, soon enough we have the Anime Expo 2025. So the team behind Netflix Cyberpunk Edge Runner teases follow-up announcement ahead of Anime Expo 2025. The next data drops almost here. Wow, what a thing. I wanted more to inform everybody. There's this Anime Expo coming up in July, right? In Los Angeles, not Las Vegas. In Los Angeles, and they're making a big deal out of this. I don't know why, but probably the most recent information we have, what is going to be shown there and presented more or less. And they're telling us more Cyberpunk. Edge Runner looks to be on the way, though we are not quite sure yet what the continuation will be. Ooh. I've seen Edge Runner because despite CD Projekt Red becoming more and more retard, right? Fully retard, never go full retard. I'll still like Cyberpunk 2077. It's a good game in the sense of nice action. You can make your character however you want to fight with it, either with big shotguns, with big almost rocket launcher style hacking. Oh, I was more like the guy who liked to fucking hack people and make the heads explode and then infest the whole group from afar. You can go ninja style with your swords or your what was it? What is it called? Just a fucking thread to behead and to cut off arms and legs, whatever. So it has many styles. It's a good action game in general. The story, it's there. You know, you can play it once through and you know everything if you play all the side quests also. But this Edge Runner show was nice, maybe to watch it once and you can forget it. There's this one boy who gets to this spine and he gets these superpowers from it and protects his family and fights for money and becomes this edge runner in the end. So it's very forgettable, but yeah. Anime Expo 2025, July, early July in Los Angeles. More Nintendo news. And we've already had Blade Runner. Yeah, it's not exactly the same. I mean, it's overall the same-ish topics, future augmentation of humans and all that, sure, but it's not been exactly the same. Lurking. Okay, Johnny boy. I've read it. I've read it. So it's gonna be a lot more news from Nintendo. By the way, if you don't know it, just let's know a fact for many fanboys out there. Nintendo, old company, they started with cards games. Now what, 120 years ago or even more? And they are still around, so they are doing something right, at least, I would say, right? Mario Kart World doesn't have a 200cc mode, but producer not ruling it out for down the road. No shit. Mario Kart World won't include a 200cc mode for faster racing, but producer Kozuke Yabuki hasn't ruled it out for a post-launch edition. When? Who knows? Month, 2 months, a half a year? We'll see. It will come, that's for sure. That's for sure. I don't like that he pretends like, yeah, maybe it will come down the road. We will see. Mario Kart World is the next entry of Nintendo's long-standing. However, unlike the games that have gone before, this time the team is mixing things up with the introduction of a roamable, interconnected, world. But while the upcoming release will feature some newness on its debut, that 200cc is one feature from previous year's entry, Mario Kart 8, that will not arrive on launch. The Mario Kart 8 had this already also going. It wasn't there when it released in Mario Kart 8. It came later on with a patch, very simple, which is fine. Yeah, and it is for players who like the game a lot and who play it like on a weekly basis. Probably more interesting that they get another difficulty, which 200cc is. Even in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, 200cc is way more difficult. And we found out more or less last weekish that they checked it out, and the step from 150 to 200 is way greater than the step from 100 to 150. So it is more like 350, 400 if you compare it like with calculus and all that, with some math, and see how much distance the cart travels in that and that amount of time and all that. So it is not like 100% accurate. Let's say it that way. Ahoy, Mr. Hunkler. Mr. Hunkler. What a name. He is honking around. Now to news that I really don't like, but it is there. And some people are just too much of a fanboy and don't see how they are being fucked. What can I say? Welcome Tour is the Switch 2's welcome surprise and might even be worth your 8 quid, which is about $10. I normally hate talking about video games in terms of how much money they are worth, but with Welcome Tour and against the backdrop of video games' wider squeeze on its audience, that discussion feels unavoidable. To get it out of the way, Welcome Tour feels like a pack-in game, and after the news broke that it would instead cost you actual money to play this seemingly stained interactive console manual, one that seemed pretty similar to the free pack-in Astro's Playroom on PS5, there was a very understandable reaction. That being, this game is probably not going to do very well. That's my issue with it. Why are you calling it a game already? It's literally a manual, an interactive manual. You just go around with your little character, like you see here. There's a video here in the link. You just click on the article to see it moving. It's just a manual. It's an interactive manual, and you're paying for an actual manual to your already new console. I'm not a fan of stuff like that, but it is what it is. And we have fanboys who find that like worth $10. I don't think it's worth $10. I think Nintendo would have done more for the fans to give it out for free, or just give out a manual. I don't know what would cost more, this interactive, one-time programmed, developed little interactive manual, or to print it out and to give it with the console. I mean, it looks neat and all that, but it's still just a manual. What do you think about that, guys? Are you a fan of that stuff? I think it's a little bit shady behavior by Nintendo. But probably it's going to be worse for them. Probably it's going to be worse for them to make even money on the manual. Anyhow, so it will come tomorrow, the Switch 2. I don't know who is going to buy it from my viewers who are right now on. Well, by the way, thank you for being around. Every day on 10 a.m. I am doing it from from Monday to Friday, this news podcast thing, and just trying to inform people of all kinds of stuff in the video game world and some pop culture stuff. So visit my page too, switzerland.playit.com. I'm just posting the whole article stuff there too, and making little articles myself, in the sense of redirecting here. Oi, beers. I won't be buying it. I'm not buying Switch 2. Same minds, I think, like me. Haste and beers. Not until Metroid Prime 4. I played like Metroid in the original and the Super one, but after that, I bought right away the Metroid Prime, the first one, the Prime on the GameCube, but never actually liked it. I put it away after a few hours. I really was not fan of this rubber bandy behavior of the gun and all that, whatever. I'm not into handheld consoles. Are we going to come to that, which is a good mention there? Ouch, my junk. About console and handheld and all that stuff. You can use it completely regular as a handheld, but in the end, it's a console. Most people are going to just have it stationary and enjoy it this way. So it will come tomorrow, but we already got patches today, so nobody really benefits from it, besides some very selected news websites and game websites like Ars Technica and probably Kotaku, probably Polygon, of course IGN, GameSpot, all those bigger companies, bigger news outlet. Of course, got it to have it a few days earlier to just make sure that it did good and praise Nintendo to the highest of heavens, of course. Anyway, they had a patch already today, which is just fucking strange. I find that so strange because back in the days, without all this internet, this interconnected fucking world, you published your console, and when it was faulty, you were fucking fucked. Your success was very limited by a faulty product back in the days, right? I don't remember specifically right out of the top of my head any consoles that didn't do too well because they were faulty, but you just couldn't allow yourself to have like an unfinished product, publishing and releasing an unfinished product. But here we are, one of the most anticipated consoles, supposedly. I'm not so super sure really. We're gonna see if it's gonna be sold out and how many consoles the next 7 days from tomorrow on in the first week. We're gonna find out. That you publish and release such an unfinished product, I don't like. I don't like where we are going with this kind of behavior by manufacturers. I'm really not into stuff like that. But here you have the article. They show you what's going to be patched, and because of games and the game chat, which will be discuss a little bit about it, and some features you didn't know, and probably some security issues around. They need to patch it already. So you're going to connect your console, and the first thing you're going to do is patch it, firmware update it. Hi, bro. Not big fan of that thing. Just tuning in, you better not be talking shit about Nintendo. I'm mostly a shit talk about Nintendo. Companies that have to do better. Companies have to do better. The Dark Prophecy foretells the Switch 2 being the downfall of Nintendo. I'm not sure if it's going to be a downfall. It might be like from Wii to Wii U. The Wii U, not a bad console or anything like that, but success is something different. Success is something different. It might be that it's gonna go from mouth to mouth, the propaganda. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy it. Because remember, the console itself costs you around $500. I know people all talking, oh, it's only $450. Yeah, sure, but you're gonna still pay some taxes. Roughly an average 10%. So it's gonna be rounded up to $500 for the console only. $500 without taxes is the bundle with Mario Kart World. So you're gonna pay like $550, for that bundle. So we're gonna see how successful it's gonna be, and how many people really waited for it, and how many people really gonna pay for it. That's the most important part. Just because I would want to have the console too doesn't mean I'm gonna spend money on it, right? So there we are. More like ATM. uh, sure. I also have a Wii U, unwieldy piece of shit. I held it once in my hand. Was fine, but I was not super impressed. It is okay, but yeah, it's like, I don't remember now. The Virtual Boy. I think the Virtual Boy came roughly after N64. Now I need to check. Now I need to check that. We're doing it live. Virtual Boy release date. When was it? When was it? For stuff like that, we still, I guess, we can rely on the Wikipedia. So, like in summer 95-ish, and N64, Nintendo 64. Oh no, it was before. But we had like Super Nintendo, great console, then Virtual Boy, not so great. Then N64, overall something new, something really good, or didn't sell too amazingly. Then GameCube, after N64, the success was there, but not super amazingly. And then we had the Wii, which was a real success, I would say. Then Wii U, then Switch. So Switch, way bigger success than anything, pretty much, besides Super Nintendo, I would say, personally. And now we switch to, maybe we have some kind of a cycle, good, bad, in the sense of Nintendo consoles. I did it live. I just wasn't sure about the years at all. I've looked once in my life into a Virtual Boy, and it made me fucking dizzy, and because it has this 3D effect, right? And it was looking super sharp, but nah, not big fan of it. Step lightly, Ike. I won't tolerate shit talking about the GameCube. What you talking about? You should see it. There. Maybe I should make it bigger. Just there. See that? Huh? I like my GameCube. I think it's a great console, but the success was just not there. That's all I'm saying. I have actually two. One is downstairs too. But I don't know if they even still work. Probably they're still working. I have even memory cards laying around here, the bundles. I like the GameCube. I'm just saying, success-wise, good, bad, you know? Kind of. Speaking of further updates, Mario Kart World 1.1.0 update out now. Out now. No, you normally fucking customer can have it, but good to know that you updated your game too. Thank you for the buff, by the way. Appreciate that. So with the console itself being updated, we get the first game already also updated. Not backwards compatibility, it's a new game, and also got the first update before release. I hate stuff like that. Some of Nintendo's best games are on GameCube. Which one would you like most on GameCube? Or which one do you like most? I had not a lot of games I bought right away when it came out. Resident Evil 4. I had a Wind Waker. Other than that, I don't remember a lot of games. I bought a few, but I don't remember them because besides the visual, Oh, the visuals of the GameCube. I don't remember really any games. Wind Waker. I said Wind Waker too, but I like to call it Wind Waker for some ominous reasons. Double Dash, yeah, of course, Double Dash. And Mario Tennis. Mario Tennis actually was also on the GameCube. Yeah, Mario Tennis. I'm pretty sure. Resident Evil 1 remake for GameCube was awesome. Rogue Squad 2, nah. I tested that out. Many Star Wars games. Not mine. Since we are still in the Nintendo world, I'm just going to point out some things you might want to know about the Switch 2, which I didn't know and I didn't care too much, but you might want to know it too. I'm just going to read like certain things. Game chat can generate captions for live speech. Ooh. One of the most unexpected accessibility features for the Switch 2 is the system's ability to automatically generate on-screen captions for what friends are saying during a game chat session. These captions appear on their own box that can be set to the side of the main gameplay. Captioning systems seemed pretty fast and accurate in our test and could even update captions from multiple speakers at the same time. I don't know about that feature. I mean, it's a nice feature, don't get me wrong, but can people say all them gamer words at once? And also, there's a bitch with a bitch mask. Why? Why do you need the virtual signal that in your fucking test here? Ethan A? More Ethan S. Whatever. You can generate spoken speech from text messages, which is also a good feature, I think. The camera has built-in head tracking in the game chat sessions only. Because it seems like on certain games you can have also the camera enabled when you attach one that is compatible with the Switch 2. But it will not track and blur out and all kinds of effects like the game chat itself. So seems to be a big thing, this game chat stuff. The system can detect the angle of the kickstand. I don't know how important that is, but it can detect the angle. Isn't that amazing? You can use mouse mode to navigate system menus. That was already unknown pretty early on. That you can attach a regular mouse, or you can use the Joy-Cons, the newer Joy-Cons, as mouse. I don't know how that is in your hands, like because the Joy-Cons are fairly thin, right? But you can use them as mouses too, which is weird, but okay, whatever. And there was also a game didn't show for the disabled people, like on wheelchairs, and you use both Joy-Cons with as you would push yourself on the wheels. Looks strange to me, but inclusivity, even the disabled people are not being left behind. Then there was Resident Evil 0 also. For the GameCube? I don't, yeah, probably. Another bug! For $1 brew. Why are we talking about the Switch 2? Let's get back to talking about the GameCube. No, that's not news though. Thank you for the buck. I appreciate that. You can play sounds to find lost controllers. I don't know what they mean with sound lost controllers. Do all the new Joy-Cons have little speakers built in? If that's the case, neat feature, but also shows that people are fucking retards, losing their controllers all the time, and that was an issue. And now Nintendo is addressing that, like, oh, don't worry, you can be tardy as much you want. You can find your controller with sound. Mr. Stupid Son. You can set a system-wide security pin. Amazing. technology from 20 years ago on Windows or some shit. You can make a security pin system-wide. You can limit the battery charge level, which shouldn't be an issue, but you can enable it to so it doesn't load up completely every time and have this battery memory effect, which lithium battery actually don't have like the same battery effect like old nickel cadmium battery and all that, but it is there. The feature is there. You can adjust size of menu text. That must be something amazing for you, Brew, because everybody knows Brew loves them menus, right? Everybody posts for Brew one menu. How about that? He loves them menus. Actually, he made that emote. So. Viewer service right fucking here, man. Right fucking here. Only on Switzerland.playit. Such an amazing service for those retards, special retards out there. By the way, because of Brew, I pretty much a little bit broke my system, yes, over the weekend and yesterday and Monday. I'm not able to use my PowerShell just regularly on my system. And somehow all this installing and uninstalling of fucking Windows, XP, Microsoft Store apps and all that broke my regedit. And it didn't broke it, but I can't just adjust it anything anymore there. I lost like permissions. Even as an admin, I don't want to deal with it. I'm gonna do like a system reset on this coming weekend and just reinstall the whole Windows, which is not a bad idea. I haven't done it for 4 months now or something like that. So and I do that at least once every 6 months, reinstall of the whole system, and never gonna install ever again Xbox fucking apps. Fuck that shit. But because he wants to play with me a certain game, I got the game. I gave him the code for the game because he spent money already, for it. But yeah, whatever. I installed virtual PC and can just load up this virtual machine in the future Windows installation. Another bug. Wow, I feel loved. And it's not my fault you're from Europe. Nothing to do with that. It's Microsoft just being assholes. Anyway, you can adjust the menu text size. Wow, that's all a big fucking technology right there. Nintendo is up to their game like next level, huh? Welcome back, Eden. What else do we have? You can swap the A and B buttons at the system level. That might be a major deal actually for Nintendo. Just saying. Swapping the A and B button? Was that ever possible? I don't remember that you could do that ever on Nintendo consoles. So there you are. Some features nobody probably knew about it. Isn't that amazing? I've always wondered what is good about Nintendo Switch. It's just a fun console, but I mainly had played it only in Mario Kart, which was the main reason why I got mine. Thanks to the help and financial support of FP, by the way, just to point it out. Damn, it's wild how the CPUs have gone from an 800 nanometer on the 486 to 180 nanometer on the GameCube to 7 or less now. We are actually on certain CPUs on 3 nanometers. Yes, it is pretty crazy. I agree. And nanometers, we are talking about on atomic levels. We are talking about on atomic levels. So it's hard to do like below 1 nanometer, really. We'll see what they will do. Just maybe more cores or some other technology. We need more efficiency. We need more technology that generates less heat, so to say. Because have you seen high-end GPUs these days? Man, my first PC build had like high-end stuff in it and less fucking power consumption than a mid-range GPU these days. So power consumption has gone up somehow. Not in the same level like the performance, you know what I mean? What's wrong with the Xbox app? Everything. Everything is fucking wrong with that app. So if you want to use the app like how it's intended, you need to install the feedback hub, you need to install the identifier, you need to install the Microsoft Store and two other apps I don't remember right out of the top of my head. And it's everything connected. The game bar. The game bar is one of those other twos. And everything is interconnected, and you have to give permission to every single app. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to play it online with your friends. Really, it might interfere with the connectivity and all that stuff. The Xbox app is garbage, absolute garbage. It's a fucking bad experience in my humble retard opinion. That is. But hey, if you like it, haste, install all them Xbox apps on your PC. I'm not gonna install it on my new Windows installation. I prefer it over Steam. No, no, I'm never gonna install it again. I just did it just for Brew. He was like wanted to play this one game, and the game itself I already tested out on the virtual machine. It works. It's an older game. It works fine. Despite being like low performance, the virtual machine, right? But it, surprisingly enough, it works pretty fine. It just needs a little bit longer to load. But other than that, man, no, never ever gonna do Xbox apps again. No, no, no. I'll open my Steam games list and half have a cloud sync error. I don't care for that though. You know what I mean? I don't care for cloud sync stuff. I have this issue a lot of times with the GOG because they limited their storage. It was 1 year ago, so now. Yeah. Fuck the Xbox app. Haste. Fuck it. I'm not gonna praise that crap. Anyway. Nintendo Switch 2 final tech specs. So we're gonna just go take a look-see a little bit. What we have like hardware-wise. That's not really news, but just so people understand a little bit more what technology is behind it. I pulled it up. It was known for now for three weeks, almost. So it has a specialized CPU GPU from NVIDIA. It's the T239. I mean, it was suspected to be something like that for half a year at least now. But now we know, now it's confirmed. It's an ARM Cortex 8 cores, which is just more performance overall, right? The CPU clocks you see, they are pretty similar to the old one, but like I said, newer cores, smaller, less heat production, more efficient, and all that stuff. And we have here 2 cores in reservation for the whole system, 6 for available for the developers. So you can program the game however you like on those 6 and downgrade it to 2, I assume, as far as I can read it this way. The old one has only 1 core really that worked on everything here, I think. And this is the most interesting thing for everybody. CUDA cores, big update, 1536, which you can utilize for all kinds of tasks. Because technology-wise, it's a mixture of performance to 2070-ish from back in the days, 2070-ish performance-wise, but has technologies of like the 40 series of NVIDIA, meaning it has ray tracing capabilities and all that stuff. How much we're going to see that happen on this console, we don't know. overall, it's big upgrade in performance. The NVIDIA Tegra X1 from the original Switch, from the Switch 1, was not a was not a powerhouse. This one is also not a powerhouse, but knowing the text now, the specs and all that, it's interesting. Bandwidth was increased a lot, so it's going to load a little bit faster, and it needs to, because the games these days need to look better. You can't have like the graphics from old 9-year technology. What they did with the Switch 1 though, they got a lot out of it, especially Nintendo, because they knew best how to utilize the hardware. Memory wise, it's a weird number, 9 GB. So I don't know the chips, how they are stacked inside and how it's being utilized. 9 is just a weird number. Usually you have round numbers, 2, 4, 8, 16 and all, or 12 in between, for input and output, having like a parallel performance, more or less. Yeah, we're gonna see how it's gonna look on the Switch 2 overall with the games. I'm a little bit interested in seeing it visually. Last minute news I got before I started the show, but I had to include it. So No Man's Sky, I play a little bit No Man's Sky. We'll get a new update. So if you own the game, I got it on GOG, on the Gate GOG. If you missed that beginning of the show here, Gay GOG. If you got the game, you get just free updates since what is it, 6 years now, 5 years? Just one-time purchase and free updates the whole time. That is customer service, in my opinion. So the new update is called Beacon, and what we got here, you can read it yourself. It's not super important, but I think it's interesting that they will launch it also on the Switch too. So there we have more Switch news. Are you No Man's Sky players? Any one of you? I mean, I know Beers loves his lame ass Empyrean with noobs. It's just a building game in space. It's just chilling. And very, very last news before the show, I saw this one. AMD Radeon RX 9060 XT 16GB review, a potent challenger to the RTX 5060 Ti. So we got another AMD GPU, and they make this guy makes it sound like it's something amazing. I'm not super sure, because it's at best a mid-range GPU competitor to a mid-range GPU. So it's a little bit cheaper than the NVIDIA one. Come on, 360. That's for mid-range. Mid-range. I wish Intel actually produces better hardware. Finally, maybe next generation will finally beat mid-range and low-end GPUs. For now, for gaming, unfortunately, if you want to use all the technologies, which is in NVIDIA's hand the whole time, with ray tracing and all that, NVIDIA the whole time, all the time, NVIDIA. But it's all expensive as fuck. I know what I'm talking about, because I have a RTX 5070 Ti. It's about $1,000 on average, so not easy going money there. But speaking of that, how about you spend more money on this news podcast in the future? No, I love that you are here. I hope you got a little bit information. Next time you can use more of the chat. I loved it that you used it. And we managed to do it under 1 hour, which is cool. Do we have any news from you guys? Do you want to give me some news about anything Now is your chance for the last 5 minutes. Otherwise, let me check the chat if you wrote something else of bigger importance. Eden is flexible. I can game on the big screen, or I'm tired and sitting. I can play literally anywhere. Yeah, with the Switch. That's very true. It's portable. It's very portable. And actually, I played a few times when I was in Arizona on my in my room at the Sarges. Just took it out of the stand and then connected it to my display, which is cool, right? So it has its cases of use for sure. Humble retard. Yeah, I'm a humble retard. The game is Halo Wars. In my opinion, best RTS game. It is. So far, I did 2 missions, or maybe 3. At least 2 missions I did of the main campaign. So far, it's goody good. Lol, I love survival games though. Is Empyrean really a survival game? It looks like you're gonna die a lot and you just can pick up your shit again. So not a lot of survival happening there. Show titties. No. Why are you interested in man titties? What's wrong with you? Just because it's sodomy month? Sodomy month. You want titties, you can buy one of those games maybe and see some man titties. I don't fucking know. Eden. Are you into man titties? Is Eden into man titties? We don't know, but it looks like a little bit. Go check out Magic's X040, crazy little upcoming handheld. I have not heard about that. What is that? Shall we take a quick look-see? What is Magic X040? 800 by 480 touchscreen. Low resolution little thing, but might be. Low resolution, but because it's a small screen, it's gonna be super dense, actually. Looks interesting. Looks interesting. Replacement for Nintendo DS. Huh. Looks neat. Looks not too bad in my eyes. Cost? Do we have a number? Price 0, sold out. Why should I look into it? You dick. Nobody can buy it. Nobody sees it. Here. Sold out. Nobody can fucking buy it. Fucking Mr. Honkler. Fucking Mr. Honkler bamboozled everybody. Oh, it hasn't come out yet. Well, I already insulted you. I'm not gonna go back. What I can do is just insult you more if you want, but I'm not gonna take it back. Mr. Honkler. Send news. Send news? What do you mean send news? News are all below, linked. Speaking of links below, everybody, if you want to contact me, everything is down below. Email, X, Gab, actually. Oh, I forgot to post it on Gab. Dang it. Every fucking day I forget at 1 point something, of course. We are professional here. Professionals. Big professionals. You can contact me anytime you want. Usually I see emails first before anything else, actually. And switzerland.playit.com, just the general web page where I post my articles right there too. And you have the donation links down below. You can give me money there. Not only like Brew did it here in the chat. You greedy bastard, you. All good. Thank you. I love that you were here and chatted with me. And I hope you have a great, wonderful rest of your day. And we're going to see us hopefully tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Till then, bye-bye.